simple ideas are good ideas. So often I find myself wondering if an idea I have is good enough. I worry that it might be too basic or too surface level, or worst of all, unoriginal. But to be honest with you, all those worries are bullshit. So I want to talk about why I think simple ideas are good. First, simple ideas help you master the fundamentals. Tim Duncan is often regarded as the best power forward of all time in the NBA, and his nickname is the Big Fundamental.
Tim Duncan with 12 points all in the second quarter. Tim Duncan beats the horn with a long two-point shot.
Tim Duncan with block number 3,000.
Tim Duncan. He got fouled and won.
He got this nickname because of his dedication to becoming elite at all the fundamentals of basketball. His footwork, his positioning, his mechanics. He became elite at all these things, and when combined, it made him into the great player that he is. The same is true when it comes to being creative. In video, people put a lot of focus into editing. They're putting crazy transitions in their videos. They're doing like the YouTuber sound design, and they're doing anything they can to keep people engaged. But if I'm honest with you, a lot of the more engaging content I'm seeing lately is stuff that just has really solid fundamentals. The shots are well composed, the lighting is good, the story is good. And I think that when you have a simple idea, you're really able to lock down and focus on those fundamentals. You can create something that's really engaging just based off doing those fundamentals well, rather than all the extra stuff that comes along. Second, simple ideas will lead to bigger ideas. David Lynch famously talks about how ideas are like fish and you have to go sit and wait until you catch one. But he also talks about how ideas will give back to you as long as you stick with them.
The whole thing is translating that idea to a medium. And in the case of film, it takes a long time, and you always need to go back and stay true to that idea. Keep checking that idea. And what you realize is the idea is more than you realize. And if you're true to it, when the work is finished and some years go by, you can even get more out of it if you've been true to the idea in the first place.
He talks about how once you get an idea and you really focus in on it, you can figure out what the idea is about and then whatever art form you want to put it in. But he also talks about how you can keep learning more from the same idea and keep getting more for it as long as you stay true to the idea. And so when I was in college, I had to do a senior project, and I decided I wanted to do a short film. And I could not figure out what I was going to make this short film about. And eventually one day I was doing dishes, kind of sitting there and waiting for something to come to me. I've been waiting for a long time. And I got this idea, kind of like this image in my head of a guy laying on the ground in an empty cooler in a gas station. And that was the idea. And I had no idea where it was going or how I got there. But that's where the idea started. Something pretty simple, just a single image. And that's what I went with, and I stuck with it, and I was able to, see that story through and see that idea through, and wrote a script that got to that point. And it was a really cool experience seeing how that idea was able to develop from something so small into like a 14-minute long short film that I was able to make for my senior project. And so I think a lot of times we might have an idea like that seems interesting, but it's just not big enough, and so we kind of abandon it and leave it. The last reason is that simple ideas are fun. A lot of times for me, when I have an idea that I think is really good and I'm really happy about and I'm really proud about, I feel a lot of pressure to make sure that whatever I create with it is good and lives up to the idea. But with simple ideas, that pressure isn't there. I think that there's a lot of freedom to try new things and experiment and do different stuff when you have a simple idea, because there's not as much pressure. It's something relatively simple, something that's relatively easy, and it really allows you to have a freedom with what you're trying to do, because if it doesn't turn out, it's a simple idea that you're not too worried about. And so I think that using these simple ideas and creating things that are simple can really give you a testing ground for when you do have those bigger ideas, and then this stuff is going to work. So it can be a lot of fun to just make some of the simple ideas you have, use them as a place to experiment and try new things. And if at the end it doesn't work out, you at least learned something and you had a good time making it. So I'm not going to make this video and not take my own advice. I am 100% talking to myself throughout this whole video. And so I had a simple idea, just taking something I like and taking something I don't like and kind of juxtaposing those. And so that's what I did. I made a video doing that. That's going to be the end of this. So thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you soon.